Well, Tennessee has asked for this, the opportunity to play for an SEC championship after the win over Mississippi State. All eyes on two things: Nico's health and a trip to Athens. We'll talk about all that and much more next on the Food City Locker Room. Presented by Garza Law, this is the Players Show. You know, Gaston Moore looked pretty good when he came in. I'm just saying.
It was Mississippi State. I mean,
why are you glaring at me like that already? Gaston Moore looked good when he came in.
He did.
You did.
It was Mississippi State.
It's Mississippi State.
So
worst team in the league.
So the question is, what's the health of Nico? Nobody will say anything, which is kind of par for the course. Coaches aren't required to. Wait till the injury report required by the SEC Wednesday night, and we'll wait to see what they say about Nico at that point in time. Understanding is upper body injury, more or less above the head, maybe a big shot.
Yeah, I mean, I think precautionary reasons obviously was the reason that they used. They used that for a reason, but it was Mississippi State. I think our guys were confident. I think they knew what they were doing. I think the coaches obviously knew that our guys could be consistent in blocking, passing, doing what we need to do with Gaston Moore. So it wasn't really a shock when they said he was playing the Gaston, but I think they knew the game plan, and those guys are super confident in Gaston going in there, especially in this game, to truly get some work.
You just needed to be careful.
Yeah.
And you needed to go out there in the first quarter, put up points, and make sure that Mississippi State wasn't in the game, late in the game. You knew that Georgia was next week. You can't tell your players that, but everyone sensed that that next week was really the game that can define your season. So it was about getting in there, getting the win, make sure guys were healthy leaving the game.
So let's say this: Tennessee up to number 6 in the AP poll. Of course, the playoff rankings and seeding and all that will come out again. But here's the AP top 25. By the way, as of where we sit right now, Tennessee's the second highest ranked team out of the SEC. Still a lot of football to be played. Win, lose, or draw against Georgia, it's got to be a competitive game, because at this point in time, you look at how many two-loss teams there are out there, and you've got to build that resume.
Yeah, there's a lot of parity with the two-loss teams, especially in the SEC. You need to win this game. I think, obviously, you want to do that and just take all the questions out.
Yeah.
You want to take all the doubt out by winning this game. And if you don't, you want to play extremely well. But our team's confident. Our team knows what's on the line. I think our team's ready to go here and play. They know what they have to do, and obviously they saw the film last week, and they've heard all the noise. So I think our team will be ready to play.
There's been a bunch of silliness this past week about rooting for Alabama versus LSU. Like, why? Like,
I heard Lowe talking about that on the Nation.
Like, I'm not rooting for Alabama against anybody. How about we do this? How about we beat Mississippi State? How about we beat Georgia, beat UTEP, and beat Vanderbilt?
There's nothing to worry about.
That's what you do. You don't hope that Alabama wins. That's silliness. Tennessee controls its own destiny right now, and this is the prime position that you want to be in.
While I understand you ain't scared, I understand
it ain't about being scared.
That. At the same time, you look at all these teams. Look at BYU. BYU's undefeated, almost lost to Utah. Does BYU have to go undefeated to get in? Does one loss get them in?
No.
Does one loss, if they lose to Ohio State by 40 points, get them in 11-1?
Yeah, I mean, I think BYU's a tricky team. I think if they lose a game, I don't think they're in. Losing one game, I think there's too many teams
down there giving us
too
these
much
looks?
parity.
Who gives a damn about BYU?
Okay, here we go. We broke on every FCC law. We're done.
Tennessee has a chance to handle its own business. Period. Who cares about what another team?
Okay, are you going to say
it's
something?
about Tennessee.
Are you going to say anything different next week? If the score against Georgia, let's say Tennessee did. I think Tennessee can win. I'm not saying that. Is that all we should focus on?
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
What you can control, which is how you play against Georgia, which I thought talking about Alabama beating LSU and rooting for Alabama because it would look good for your resume, I thought that was silly.
All right, Zakai should replace me as the host of this show. Should we do that?
It's just a loser mentality. We're not losers over here at the locker room. We winners.
I love it. Swain
I'm
is
just
fired
saying,
up.
we're winners over here. It's Georgia week.
Okay.
Chris Brown, let's go.
You know, I'm ready to go.
Let's get it.
I'm ready.
Okay, now that we all feel better about ourselves, Dylan Sampson obviously got dinged up. He came back in. What a warrior he is. But Nico, at the same time, he had a great game. I mean, you got to feel good about where the offense is right now if everybody's healthy.
Listen, we've been talking the last couple of weeks about being so close. We've been so close. We've been so close. We've been so close. And you see Dante Thornton make a big play. You see Squirrel make a big play. You see guys literally making explosive plays that we've been talking about. So our guys are going to be ready to play when we go over here and play this game, and we should have all the confidence in the world. They should be worried about us coming over there as opposed to everybody and their mom saying that Georgia's just going to mop the floor with us.
Yeah, I thought it was really important for the receivers to catch a couple touchdowns last night, and that's what happened. And there was opportunities, probably more opportunities, but Nico got hurt and Dante got hurt, and you kind of wanted to get out of the game healthy. But the receivers catching touchdowns, I think, is a big confidence booster going into Georgia.
So you feeling better about the receivers this week?
Yeah, they didn't drop the balls much.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we're good.
Sure.
I will go back to where I started the show, and I was half kidding, but I was half serious. If Nico can't play, and all indication, well, you hope that he can. You hope the concussion protocol all works out and everything's good to go and is precautionary. We get all that. But if Gaston Moore is the quarterback, I think he gave this team some confidence with the gunslinger mentality and the way you got to have Nico. I get it, Swain. But I still felt good about what Gaston Moore did.
Yeah, you can feel good about what he did. Again, I think we have to realize who we were playing. That was Mississippi State. I think you want your best guys out there. Obviously, I think Nico will be out there. Our offensive line's played well. Georgia's given up a lot of rushing yards. So look forward to Nico playing. Obviously, you have a serviceable backup in Gaston Moore if that has to happen, but I don't see that happening at all.
Yeah, you want your best players available in this game, period. And, I think it would have to be something serious to not have your best players out there. So I'll leave it at that. I think Gaston did a good job going into Mississippi State, but I think it's important that you have your best players if you're Tennessee.
I don't even want to ask this question, but do you think if it hadn't have been playing Mississippi State, let's say it was halftime against Georgia or Alabama, would Nico have been out in the second half?
I think they said precautionary reasons for a reason.
I don't know. I know Chris Brown.
I don't even know what we're doing up here in this
Chris
show
Brown
this
probably
week.
continues to play. I'm probably going to continue to play. I don't know. I don't know.
Precautionary reasons.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and take a break because I want to get to the defense a little bit. I lost control of this show before we even started. We've got Ethan Davis out here, so it's a tight end show. Zakai Zeigler is here to talk about the win at the Yum Center over Louisville. They were talking a little bit of trash apparently during the games, what I'm hearing. That and more when we come back in the Food City Locker Room presented by Garza Law.
Zakai Zeigler's appearance on the Locker Room is brought to you by Lakewood Capital Group.
Attention shoppers, don't forget to ask our certified butchers for great recipe tips.
This is an authentic butcher shop,
where meat is hand-cut in-store, beef is ground fresh daily, and expert advice from a certified butcher
is always free of charge.
Free advice? That's what I call value. The quality I crave, the value I count on.
Nobody does food like Food City.
At Glass Doctor, our trained specialists are experts at fixing foggy and cracked glass.
Looks great.
You're all set.
What we can't fix is your view.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
I was coming home and a lady hit me head on. It totaled my car. It fractured my right heel and it bruised me up really badly. The Garza Law firm, they were very compassionate, but yet they were very detailed. They didn't let me down. They never stopped fighting. It helped me regain confidence in law firms. I would definitely recommend the Garza Law firm.
The Garza Law firm. Let us help.
I was the star around here until Glass Doctor installed this perfect shower enclosure. Now they look at me like, well, there you go.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
The Locker Room is brought to you by Food City, NPG Brain and Concussion, Knoxville Smiles, Glass Doctor, and Garza Law.
Okay, I got convinced during the break Just beat Georgia, right? Just beat Georgia. Don't talk about anything. I will say this, and this is why we do these kinds of shows. Should there be reason for concern of the defense giving up some big chunk plays the other night? Or did everybody go into it and say, as Mississippi State, don't worry about it?
I'm not concerned at all. I think we played multiple. Mississippi State had a couple plays, but I think when you're playing a team like that, you're going to give up splash plays. You just don't want to give up points, so not concerned at all.
Why?
I think we have become spoiled. The defense has been dominant all season long.
Okay.
And so when we saw Kentucky run the football the way they did 2 weeks ago, and then we saw Mississippi State have success running straight up the middle, I mean, I'm a little concerned, but that gives us something to work on. That keeps us on our toes. You don't get complacent. Don't think for a second that Georgia won't try to do some of the same things Kentucky and Mississippi State did.
Better players.
But I'm okay. I think our defense will adjust and be all right.
Let me ask you guys as former players something. How much mentally does it make a difference in your mind when you're going into a game against, let's be real. Okay, let's be real. You're going into Kentucky or Mississippi State where you're supposed to win big. You know it. You hear the noise versus when you go into a Georgia or Alabama game where you know you've got to play your A game to win.
I think that this is why you came here. This is what you want. I think the mentality is the mentality, and the standard is the standard. This year, I think our team's different. I think we have a lot of guys. We have a lot of players that have been there and done that. And I think our guys are ready. I think that the loss early at Arkansas really motivated our guys. And I think you're going to see a different temperament because we've been so close. And I think that closeness kind of came together this past week. And I think you'll see just a huge difference by a senior-led guys who've been here for a while, and I think that's important when you're going and playing on the road.
I think it's human nature when you play a team that's not good. And let's be honest, Kentucky and Mississippi State, they're not good. And all season long, you tell yourself it's you versus you. We weren't about Tennessee, but you have to understand something. It's 100 people on that football team. It's hard. And you're in the middle of the season. It's November. Guys are beat up. You have Georgia coming up next. I mean, you want to say treat this game like it's a Georgia game, but come on.
But it's not.
It's not. It's not at all. And the crowd was different.
Pre-game,
it was different. It was different last night than it was against Alabama. It's a reason for that.
It's kind of like pickup basketball, you know, and this will lead us into Zakai. I mean, if he walked out onto the court and he saw that I was guarding him, he might not try real hard. But if he comes out there and sees, like, you know, Ethan Davis is guarding him, he might take it seriously. I mean, I'm just saying. So with that said, okay, we watch the team right here. Let's bring Zakai in because Tennessee did get a nice win on Saturday against Louisville. Nice pose there, by the way. So Zakai, I'll ask you the question before we get into basketball just a little bit. That mentality of when you're playing somebody that you know you're supposed to beat versus somebody you know you've got to play your A game, is that real?
Kind of, but not really. Not on this side. You know, we think to dominate everybody no matter who we playing against. We actually had to talk about this a few weeks ago with our strength coach. He was telling us, like, no matter what, we set our own standard and we know where we want to be at, and championship teams don't play down to their competition or up to their competition.
Okay. You know, Zakai, yesterday you guys had a big game playing over there in Louisville, big crowd over there. What was the experience like playing with all of the new guys that we had, first time on the road? How did you all communicate? You think everybody was kind of in sync, or do you think you guys have some things you can work on?
Yeah, I think we definitely have some things we need to work on, but, you know, just going on the road with a new team and you know, some guys not being able to play, that's their first high-major game, first game like that, especially to be on the road. It was a really good experience, but I feel like everybody just came locked in, like me, Jamal, JG, we told everybody how it was going to be, and, you know, that wasn't going to get the calls that we was expecting, and everybody in there was going to be against us. So just going in there.
Here we go. It's all about the referees. Here we go.
You know, just going there and having each other's backs, bro. Everybody having each other's backs, and that's what it really comes down to.
One of the things that impressed me most about the game, especially with you, is the first half wasn't up to your standard. But you bounced back in second half, and you dropped 19 points for the game. You was on 5 from 3, and you led your team to a double-digit win, got up to 24 points. What was the conversation like at halftime? What does it say about your mentality, adversity that you've overcome in your life to be able to overcome that in the first half and the second half?
Yeah, well, you know, Barnes, he came in there, he came on fire a little bit, but then he calmed down, and he just told me, he was just like, yo, we want you to be the best point guard in the country, but what you just didn't really showcase that. So just calm down, get back to yourself. And honestly, I felt like that's what I did. I just played more relaxed. You know, going on the road, first road game of the year, I went probably a little bit too anxious, more than I should have been. But you know, the more I calmed down, the better it turned out.
Okay, so real quickly, Zakai, you've gotten this. You call me Little Mark, and you call me that to my face. Do you call Coach? By the way, swat it again. Do you call Coach Barnes? Do you call him Barnesy?
Nah, I call him Ricky B.
As long as we're keeping it real. All right, Zakai. Hey, good luck this week. We'll see you next week, hopefully, okay?
Appreciate it, yeah. I probably will.
Sounds good. All right. Hey, we're going to kick Zakai out. We're going to bring one of the better tight ends that Tennessee's had in a while. Ethan Davis will join us next here on The Locker Room. You played that, right?
100%.
Did you?
I like it.
All right.
The Locker Room is brought to you by Food City, Exterior Home Solutions, D1 Training, Lakewood Capital Group, Ted Russell Ford, and Garza Law.
Attention shoppers, don't forget to ask our certified butchers for great recipe tips.
This is an authentic butcher shop.
Where meat is hand-cut in-store, beef is ground fresh daily, and expert advice from a certified butcher
Is always free of charge.
Free advice? That's what I call value. The quality I crave, the value I count on.
Nobody does food like Food City.
I see Marco's role in the community as somebody that people can look up to.
Marcos Garza is very thoughtful. He pays attention to the needs of the people in the community.
He's somebody that's very unselfish, somebody that's going to always be there.
Marcos Garza will work as hard as he can to get the best results for you.
In the future, no matter where I'm playing, no matter what the team I'm playing for, I'll always be on Garza's team.
The Garza Law Firm is Mama ZZ approved.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Man, come on, we got a roof to replace.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Hey, Sterl, you ready to go to the top? Man, I can't believe you guys been doing this for 25 years. Oh, baby.
Now this is what I call a rooftop party.
We have 25 years experience in roofing and exterior renovations, and we're backed by the best.
Are you ready to get your rooftop party started? Give us a call, 865-524-5888.
Knoxville Smiles depend on us to make your smile better. Knoxville Smiles, are you happy with your smile today? Knoxville Smiles, we're all about smiles.
Hey Lance, what makes you smile?
Pancake blocks.
What's up, guys? It's Devin Driscoll, owner of D1 Sports Training. We know in 2024, convenience is king, so we have locations not just in Hardin Valley, but now one in Maryville, in Farragut, and in Morristown, with more soon to come. So keep an eye out. We want to bring D1 Sports Training to everyone in East Tennessee.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jody Griffin. I'm a dentist here in Knoxville, Tennessee. In 22, I had a wakeboard tower hit me on the head and give me a concussion. In my office, I show x-rays to my patients so they can see their teeth. I needed somebody to do the same thing for my brain, so I went to MPG. They did an EEG of my brain, and they were able to show me the activity of my brain and give me a diagnosis and a treatment plan. So I choose MPG because brains is what they do, and that's all they do.
Time now for the Food City Player's Perspective. A look inside the locker room with the Vols.
Well, when we told Chris who was going to be out tonight, he goes, yeah, we continue the tight ends
the
this
tight
year.
ends, baby. Let's do it.
Telling you. We got a talented one in here tonight.
Yeah, 100%. We got Ethan Davis, Atlanta boy, over here at Food City Player Perspective. Jason, take it over.
Yeah, first I want to give you this Get Kneeling Loud t-shirt as a gift, as a present. Hopefully we can get you to open up and give us some good answers today. But I think tight end is one of the hardest positions on the field to play outside of quarterback because you have to be offensive line in the running game, but you have to be a receiver in the passing game. You redshirted your first year. What was that learning experience like for you to be able to play this year?
It was definitely a good thing for me. You know, when you're a young guy, I mean, you obviously you come in stubborn, man, I really want to play. Why am I not playing? And you just come up with every single reason as to why you're not playing. And then, especially when you got people telling you man, you should really be playing. And then you start listening to those voices. I mean, it got really hard at a point, but once you just kind of settle in and realize, hey, I have a lot to learn still about playing football in general, you know what I mean? Because I've only been playing 3 years. And so just being able to sit behind Jacob and Callie, who are two pros every single day, two vets, I was able to see their tendencies and see their habits and build off of those and see what it's like to be the guy in the room and be a leader on the team.
How has other players in the room, Holden Stays, Miles Kitzelman, how have those guys, and it's a friendly competition, but it helps you get better. How have those guys helped you become a better tight end each and every day?
Oh, just by holding me to the standard. I mean, every single day, you know what I mean? I do the same with them. We all just kind of push each other to be the best we can all be, because we know that if all three of us are on our game, if all three of us have energy during practice and stuff like that, the whole team will just follow along with us. So it's kind of like we look at each other as like the leaders, and so we try to just whenever somebody comes to us, like looking for answers, looking for some energy, something like that, we're always going to have it for them.
Coach Heupel earlier this season talked about this tight end room being the deepest he's had since he's been here. We've seen a lot of 12 personnel. You guys using two tight ends at once. You guys got loose against NC State. What are the conversations like in the tight end room about opportunities that you guys have each and every Saturday?
It honestly just depends on what we're seeing on film and how we feel best on the field with our offensive scheme and our play style. So it just really just depends on how the coaches are feeling and how we're all looking during the week, during certain plays and during certain segments of practice, stuff like that. So that's just how that all works out.
You said that you've only been playing the position for 3 years. Are there some guys maybe in college, maybe in the pros that you kind of look at and take little things from their game and put it in your game?
Yeah. Well, I've only been playing tight end for a year and a half.
Year and a half, okay.
Yeah, because I played receiver in high school.
Okay, gotcha.
So I didn't get my head in the dirt till college. I was chilling outside. So, but in the pros, I really look at Laporta on the Lions a lot. Kelsey in the blocking game, because he's like a high-level blocker, especially in the run game. Just looking at those guys who are like truly dominant in the league and not just like a F or a Y, but a combo tight end, because at the end of the day, those combo tight ends in the league are the ones that are getting paid the most.
When you hear the play call and you know that the ball's coming to you, you and Nico, y'all have a little look that y'all give each other does he let you know he's coming to you?
Well, it's like a little mutual understanding. Like I tell him all the time, like, man, if you ever like get in a position where you got to throw it up, like, I'm not gonna let somebody pick the ball off on me. You know what I mean? So it's kind of just like antenna goes up, especially when the play is called and you're like the number one option. And so we kind of give each other a little look in the middle of the play. Like when I'm ready for the ball, he gets it to me.
First year playing a prominent role in the offense, you're red-shirted. How has it been playing in the big games at home? Alabama, Kentucky, you guys played a pretty big neutral site game against NC State. How has it been being a first-time contributor and playing in these really cool environments this year?
I mean, it's a really great feeling, just being able to help the team in some sort of way, especially in those big games and those big moments, that knowing that the coaches have enough trust in me to put me in during those big moments and those big times, especially for me to go out and make some plays in those games. It honestly is a great feeling that I'm able to help the University of Tennessee win football games.
All right, walk me through why you made the decision to wear 0.
To wear 0?
Yeah, walk me through that decision.
So I wanted 9.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted 9.
Who wears 9 right now?
Nobody wears 9.
Okay.
But Jacoby wears 9 on defense.
Okay.
And so with special teams and all that, so like we get 3 number options. So 9, it was 9, 9, and 0. Those are my 3 options.
That's slick.
Yeah. So then but Jacoby played special teams, and they didn't want any like special teams like clashes with the numbers going on and stuff like that. So I got 0. And I like 0.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
So when the defense talks trash to you and say, hey, you got 0 because you're not catching any balls today, you can say, well, I got 0 because nobody's guarding me today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the number 0 is always open.
That's right.
If you think about it.
Always open. All right. Do you guys talk about like celebrations, touchdown celebrations? Because I'm seeing them from Dylan Sampson. Dante Thornton had a nice celebration yesterday. I'm not seeing a lot of celebrations from the tight ends, man. What's going on with that?
Look, I be trying to tell the guys, like Miles got his little point in the stand. I be trying to tell him, like, man, you got to do some more creative or something like that. But that's his go-to. That's Holden's go-to too. But I know me, when I get in that end zone, I'm showing some personality. I'm letting it all go.
This week, right?
This week, for
all
sure.
Right, let's do it. Let's do it. Mark, back to you.
Ethan, you talk about the tight end room. You talk about getting the end zone and doing all that. What was it like? They brought in a couple transfers and yourself. I know you got hurt and you had the red shirt, but that room is so special, and I think you guys are so integral in the offense. What is it like game planning week to week on who's the guy, who's not the guy, and the rotations that you guys have of who's going to be playing?
Honestly, it's all just like, it's basically like a discussion group to me, honestly. Like, it's not really like we don't go in there and be like, hey, all right, you're the guy this week, you're the guy this week, and you're the guy this week. Like, there's so many different plays and so many different, like, run schemes, pass schemes, and stuff like that, that we just kind of have to figure out where everybody fits in on certain plays and how we're going to execute those plays to the highest level. And at the end of the day, the guys who execute those plays at the highest level during the week of practice are going to be those guys who are in the game doing it.
There you go. Depth has its blessings and its curses. Blessings as far as you got a lot of depth. The curses, maybe you don't get as much time as you want. Good luck this week against Georgia, okay?
I appreciate it.
Sounds good. Appreciate you coming out. When we come back, we'll talk about those keys to the game. By the way, if you would like to buy one of those Get Kneelin' Loud shirts that you have seen us, by the way, Jason just gave one to Ethan. Zakai's got them. You can get your Get Kneelin' Loud shirt by scanning the QR code, and it will benefit Zakai's nephews, a portion of it will anyway, who are dealing with hydrocephalus. Those keys to the Georgia game when we come back on The Locker Room.
Hi, I'm Laura Ash, your West Knoxville State Farm agent. I've been here in the Renaissance for 17 years, and I'd love to help your young football players or anyone with their car insurance, home insurance, and life insurance. Give me a call at Laura Ash State Farm.
I see Marco's role in the community as somebody that people can look up to.
Marcos Garza is very thoughtful. He pays attention to the needs of the people in the community.
He's somebody that's very unselfish, somebody that's going to always be there.
Marcos Garza will work as hard as he can to get the best results for you.
In the future, no matter where I'm playing, no matter what the team I'm playing for, I'll always be on Garza's team.
The Garza Law Firm is Mama ZZ approved.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Hi, I'm David Ball, National Sales Manager here at Legend Fitness. Legend Fitness has been built on longevity and quality. Our racks are fully welded and has the least amount of bolts in the industry, made to stand up to the test of time. Because at Legend Fitness, we deliver quality and we want our customers to be Legend strong.
Hey, Tim Hoskins here from Covenant Sports Medicine. I'm the corporate manager of sports medicine, and I want to speak a little bit to our community partners and relationships that we have. We partner with FC Alliance Soccer, LeConte Center in Pigeon Forge, Johnson University, numerous high schools in and around the area, AAU basketball, Morristown Landing, travel hockey, volleyball, lacrosse, you name it, we're probably involved. What a lot of people don't know about Covenant Health is we're a nonprofit, community-based healthcare delivery system. We provide services in your community. If you ever need help with some event medicine or sporting event, scan the QR code at the bottom. Covenant Health, our mission is to improve lives through better health.
Community banking is about location and much more. It's about family. We reside in your community. We are a part of your community. At Commercial Bank, our commitment extends beyond the walls of our branches. It's displayed each day in the opportunities we provide, the money we give back, and the time we commit, all to help improve the lives of the people, families, and businesses that make our communities great. Commercial Bank, life made better.
Keys to Victory is brought to you by Garza Law.
All right, here we go. What are those Garza keys to the game? Keys to victory coming up this week against Georgia.
You know, obviously, this is a big game playing on the road when you're going there. The best thing to do to get that quiet crowd is by scoring points. So obviously, we got to protect Nico coming off of last week with his upper body injury. He'll be back to play, but we still need to protect him. Create turnovers. We've seen Carson Beck give the ball over by creating pressure, creating turnovers. He'll throw it. He'll get it to us. And again, I think we got to run the football. It's been important. Our offensive line's played well. I think we need to continue to do that.
The way you keep pressure on Carson Beck is not allow Georgia to run the football successfully. Like, make him have to throw the ball for a successful play. So I got to stop the run. I have 3 or more sacks. I think if you're pressuring him, you're creating some turnovers, maybe a strip sack. Maybe you hit him while he's throwing the ball gets tipped, interception. So 3 or more sacks, and then offensively, you have to have more explosive plays. Really hard to drive the football, drive the ball length of the football field for 5, 10, 15 plays entire game. Need explosive plays.
You know, there's all kinds of things. Nico's got to play. He's got to play well. But I'm going to say this after watching the game the other night, and those who saw him play in high school, Boo Carter, okay? If he does something on special teams, that could make a difference.
Yep.
Tennessee and Georgia coming up this weekend between the hedges. Do they still have hedges? We'll see you next week right here on the Food City Locker Room presented by Garza Law.